Good morning, Nueces County Community Action Agency family. Welcome. We're going to be talking about disaster and emergency plan. My name is Oscar Gutierrez. I'm better known as Mr. G. So I want to welcome everybody to this training. The promise of community action. Community action changes people's lives, embodies a spirit of hope, improves communities, and makes America a better place to live. We care about the entire community, and we are dedicated to helping people helping themselves and each other. Table of contents. Types of emergencies to be reported by site personnel. Medical, fire video, severe weather, bomb threat, chemical spill, extended power loss, active shooter plan of action, and other emergency practices and health and safety checklist. Medical emergency. Call medical emergencies phone numbers. Paramedics, ambulance, fire department, or other. In case of an emergency, you should dial 911. You should be certified as a CPR first aid. If you're not, you will be. The Nueces County Head Start program makes sure that every teacher is certified on CPR and first aid. Okay? If personal training and first aid are not available, at minimum, attempt to provide the following assistance. Stop the bleeding. Okay? Avoid contact with blood or any bodily fluids. Also clear the air passage, okay, in case of choking. Now we're going to watch a video, what to do before, during, and after a fire.
How to use a fire extinguisher. Accidents happen. Be prepared to fight your own fire by learning how to use a fire extinguisher. You will need courage, calm, and a fire extinguisher. Step 1. Know how fire extinguishers are classified. Class A extinguishers are for common combustibles like paper or wood. Class B are for flammable liquids, and Class C are for electrical fires. The Red Cross recommends ABC classified fire extinguishers for home use. Step 2. Inspect the fire extinguisher before use. Read instructions and warnings. Check that the pressure gauge needle is in the green portion of the gauge, and check for a clogged nozzle, a broken seal, or other damage. A fire extinguisher won't work if it's not properly charged. The pressure gauge measures the charge. Step 3. Decide if you'll evacuate or stay and fight the fire. Consider the size of the fire, the amount of smoke in the room, and whether there is a reliable escape route. Step 4. Remember the acronym PASS. It stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Step 5. Pull the pin or ring that unlocks the fire extinguisher's operating handle and aim the extinguisher at the base of the fire. Aim at the fire from 6 to 8 feet away. Step 6. Squeeze the extinguisher lever to discharge its contents and sweep the hose back and forth until the extinguisher is empty. Did you know? Food Network star Alton Brown used a carbon dioxide fire extinguisher, a water cooler bottle, and a tennis racket to make a fruit smoothie on television.
Fire safety procedures. The use of candles or matches is prohibited at all facilities. Stored materials will be kept in at least 18 inches from the ceiling. Trash cans should be not allowed to overflow. Emergency exit floor plans with evacuation routes and safe rooms indicate will be posted in hallways. Classrooms and conference rooms, central office will be zoned for approximate exits. Fire extinguishers will be checked on a monthly basis by area managers. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors will be checked and recorded monthly by mains to assure reliable functioning. Bare windows and door emergency exits should be checked quarterly to assure that emergency release latches are in working condition. When leaving a fire smoke-filled building, staff will be trained to drop down low to the ground and cover mouth and nose with cloth, if available. Closed doors should be checked with a hand for heat intensity before opening to exit. If hot, then alternate exits should be taken or await rescue. If door is cool to touch, Staff will proceed and follow evacuation procedures. Use fire extinguishers if available and as trained for each type of fire. So, the types of fires in the classrooms, we use A, B, and C. A, B, and C. Type A is for wood and paper cloth. Type B is for flammable liquids, for example, oil, gasoline, etc. Type C is for electrical fires. So, teachers, you should always be prepared to handle a fire and use a fire extinguisher. If you see a fire extinguisher that's broken or leaking powder or is not locking right, please have the manager call the supervisor, main supervisor, and we will replace it as soon as possible. On another note, teachers can also plan and use fire extinguishers for show and tell to explain to the children and parents what it's used for and why it's there. Maybe the parents don't have one, don't know how to use one, and they can purchase one and use it at their homes or apartments. Emergency phone numbers. This should be posted by your file cabinets or in your offices as per minimum standards. And also you should be familiarized with these departments and their phone numbers. You can also give these phone numbers to parents and explain to them and help them if they need help on these situations. For example, Poison Control Center, or also the Water and Waste Emergency, for examples. Dorothy, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. On this slide, we're going to be talking about severe weather, tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, and blizzards. Severe weather and nature disasters. Tornadoes. When a warning is issued by signs or other means, seek inside shelter. Consider the following: small interior rooms on the lowest floor and without windows, hallways on the lowest floor away from doors and windows, and rooms construction with reinforced concrete, brick, or block with no windows. Stay away from outside walls and windows. Use alarms to protect head and neck. Remain sheltered until the tornado threat is announced to be over. Earthquake. Stay calm and await instructions from the emergency coordinator or the designated official. Keep away from overhead fixtures, windows, filing cabinets, and electrical power. Assist people with disabilities in finding a safe place. Evacuate as instructed by the emergency coordinator and or the designated official. Flood. If indoors, be ready to evacuate as directed by the emergency coordinator and or the designated official. Follow the recommended primary or secondary evacuation routes. If outdoors, climb to the high ground and stay there. Avoid walking or driving through the flood water. If car stalls, abandon it immediately and climb to the high ground. Remember, turn around, don't drown. Hurricanes. The nature of hurricanes provide for more warning than other natural and weather disasters. A hurricane watch issued when the hurricane winds of 74 miles per hour or higher, or a combination of dangerous high waters and rough seas are expected in the area within 24 hours. Once a hurricane watch has been issued, stay calm and await instructions from the emergency coordinators or the designated official. Moor any boats secure or move to a safe place if time allows. Continue to monitor local TV and radio stations for instructions. Move early out of low-lying areas or from the coast at the request of officials. If you are on high ground, away from the coast and plan to stay, secure the building, moving all loose items indoors and avoiding all windows. Collect drinking water in appropriate containers. Once a hurricane warning has been issued, be ready to evacuate as directed by the emergency coordinator and/or the designated official. Leave areas that might be affected by storm, tide, or stream flooding. During a hurricane, remain indoors and consider the following: small interior rooms on the lowest floor and without windows, hallways on the lowest floor away from doors and windows, and rooms construction with reinforced concrete, brick, or block with no windows. Blizzard. If indoors, stay calm and await instructions for the emergency coordinator or the designated official. Stay indoors. If there is no heat, close off unneeded rooms or areas. Stuff towels or rags in cracks under doors. Cover windows at night. Eat and drink food provided body with energy and heat. Fluids prevent dehydration. Wear layers of loose fitting, lightweight, warm clothing if available. If outdoors, find a dry shelter. Cover all exposed parts of the body if shelter is not available. Prepare a lean-to, windbreak, or snow cave for protection from the wind. Build a fire for heat and to attract attention. Place rocks around the fire to absorb and reflect heat. Do not eat snow. It will lower your body temperature. Melt it first. If stranded in a car or truck, stay in the vehicle. Run the motor about 10 minutes each hour. Open the windows a little for fresh air to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning. Make sure the exhaust pipe is not blocked. Make yourself visible to rescuers. Turn on the dome light at night when running the engine. Tie a collar cloth to your antenna or door. Raise your hood after the snow stops falling. Exercise to keep blood circulating and to keep warm. Bomb threat. Telephone bomb threat checklist. Bomb facts. Telephone bomb threat checklist. This is the instructions. Be calm. Listen. Do not interrupt the caller. Ask the name, if it's a male or female, his voice, his tone, maybe some background noises if you hear some animals, music, or streets, cars, airplanes, what kind of language. And these are questions that you can ask. When will it go off? Where is it located? What kind of bomb? You can answer these questions and put them down on a piece of paper and call 911 as soon as possible. Chemical spill. When a large chemical spill has occurred, immediately notify the designated official or emergency coordinator. Contain the spill. Secure the area and alert the site personnel. Do not attempt to clean the spill unless trained to do so. Make sure that your boys and girls are safe. Evacuate the building as necessary if the smell is too bad and too strong. Notify the emergency coordinator or supervisor. If toxic fumes are present, secure the area. Small spills must be handled in a safe manner while wearing the proper PPE. Always be safe. Extended power loss. In the event of extended power loss to the facility, Certain precautions measures should be taken depending on the geographic location and environmental of the facility. So for example, if there's no electricity on your center, should not be any children allowed. Any parents signing in the children to come into school. Notify me, the supervisor, notify the manager, so I can contact the proper emergency contacts. Do not touch the circuit breaker. Do not touch any type of electrical wires or any light bulbs that need to be changed. Please contact the manager, and the manager will contact the main supervisor. A first aid kit. A first aid kit should always be in the classroom for case of emergencies. First aid kit should be equipped with all the materials that's needed for a child that gets hurt in the classroom or outdoors. Located staff member certified first aid to come and assist if needed. Call 911. Next will be a video about active shooter.
It may feel like just another day at the office. But occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are three things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important. You, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind. Try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your number one priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights. And if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm him. And commit to taking the shooter down. No matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or tend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooter. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are three key things you need to remember to survive. Run, hide, fight.
Active Shooter Plan of Action. ALICE stands for Alert, Lock Down, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. Number 1. Alert. Call 911. Don't assume others are contacting law enforcement. Give it clear and accurate information as possible that will answer the virtual questions of who, what, when, where, and how. At this point, Crane says, "We don't care why." 2. Lockdown. Shelter in place. By locking down, barricading entry points, you make yourself a hard target. Lockdown does not mean lock in. You may choose to barricade the door and exit out windows to safety. 3. Inform. Consent real-time updates. This can be accomplished by things such as video surveillance, equipment, or public address systems. Information updates during a violent intruder incident allows occupants to make sound decisions about how to react and what steps, if any, to take next. 4. Counter the attack. If this is the last resort. When other options are not immediately possible, a locked or lockdown doors does not exist, or the intruder breaches a secure room, move, make noise, and get distraction devices, anything at hand, in the air, and heading for the shooter's face. Then you may attack or evacuate the area. Number 5, evacuate, get out. Your goal here is to put as much time and distance as possible between you and the attacker. Note, please know that although the letters ALICE may appear to be sequential steps to follow, they are not. The acronym is merely a mimic to help people under stress to remember the options available to them in an active shooter scenario. Okay, this is a form. It's called the Health and Safety Checklist. This is not the updated form. You have the updated form right now, but it's similar, just like this. It has Monday through Friday, the center, the room number, the week, also the teacher's names, the teacher and the assistant teacher. It has a classroom, the outdoors, the playgrounds, and it's mostly like you check if there is a broken window, or maybe if there is a broken furniture. So you check and you make a work order. You tell the manager to make a work order, and we'll send it to the supervisor, myself, and we'll take care of it. For example, if there's a broken glass on your classroom, then you do not enter. You notify the area manager, and the manager will notify myself, and we will go and take care of it. We'll pick up the glass and we'll replace the window. If there's no water or if there's no light, you check on that list and you notify the manager, and the manager will notify the supervisor. Okay? If there's any questions, you can call the main supervisor or email me. Well, on behalf of the maintenance crew and myself, I want to welcome everybody to the Head Start family. Welcome back. Like always, think safe at all times and ask if you don't know. Thank you very much. We are at the end of our virtual training. Questions and our training agenda will be coming up pretty soon. Once again, if you have any questions or concerns, please email me or call me, and I will answer your questions as quick and swift as I can. Now, we're gonna do our post test, our questions. Number 1, monthly fire drills. True or false? I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer. Number 2, monthly fire extinguishers check. True or false? I'll give you a couple of seconds to answer that. Number 3, who completes the fire safety practices? A, teacher, B, manager, C, maintenance, D, parents. Give you a couple of seconds for that. Now we're going to come back and give you the answers. Number 1, monthly fire drills. True. Number 2, monthly fire extinguishers checks. True. And number 3, who completes the fire safety practices? The teachers. A.